My friend, if you're struggling finding, vetting, training, and managing virtual team members for your real estate business, I have the solution for you. Call Magicians is the premier virtual assistant company in the real estate industry. And basically, what they'll do is allow you to focus on closing more deals and doing the things you love while they handle the work for you. Head over to callmagicians.com and see if you're a good fit to work together. And make sure you use the promo code FLIPEMPIRE for a 20% discount off your startup fee. And by the way, the owner's a friend of mine and shares tons of value, gives a lot of useful tips on episode 540. So check it out at flipempire.com/540.
You're listening to Flip Empire, the show committed to helping real estate entrepreneurs who want to build their empire without sacrificing their life. Your success and freedom starts now with your host, Alex Pardo.
You're listening to episode 561. My name's Alex Pardo, and I want to continue the celebration of my good friend Adrian Nez. I want to celebrate his life. If you have an opportunity to listen to episode 560, which is the previous episode that was just released, I shared just a kind of a heartfelt message about Adrian Nez, about what I learned from him, about the impact he had on me, about the relationship I have as friends and having the opportunity over the last year or so to coach Adrian. And definitely want you to check that out, because what I did was I shared with you all these things and then I bolted on. I had the opportunity to interview Adrian December of 2017 about balancing life as an entrepreneur. We talked a lot about relationships, and he was just so open, vulnerable, and transparent about challenges and lessons learned. And we talked about faith, and so that it was a pretty deep episode. So I want you to check that out. And what I want to do is, this is a conversation I don't think I've ever had on the podcast, and one that we had at length during our Ascend Mastermind retreat last week. You know, with the untimely passing of Adrian, it really got me and several others within our mastermind just really thinking about, have you set things up for your loved ones? If you're married, have you set things up for your husband or wife, for your children, if you happen to be a father or mother, or whoever you look after, whoever you care for? Have you set it up in a way that if something were to happen to you, you would minimize the burden that they have to go through? And I'm talking about everyday life things like, do you have a will? Do you have a trust? Do you have life insurance? You know, would they even know, would your spouse or significant other or family, would they know anything about your business? Who to contact, who to connect with? These are all questions that I have been asking myself over the last week and a half, that, you know, we spoke at length. And ultimately what I'm talking about is, what does your legacy look like, right? What are you leaving behind for those that you care about? You know, Proverbs, I think Proverbs 13 talks about a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And that Bible verse has really kind of been ringing in my head. But just basic things like, you know, would my wife, Natalie, know in my different businesses, you know, who to connect with, who can help her kind of navigate through my business, access to bank accounts, access, you know, usernames and passwords, like all these different types of things that we need to think about. I remember years ago, we put together what's called a legacy file. And this legacy file is an accordion file that basically is just organized by, you know, all the insurance documents, right? Homeowners insurance, life insurance, disability insurance, all these types of things. We have documents in there that contain usernames and passwords for the different sites, the different bank accounts we have, where the assets are located and how to access those. So, you know, important contact information. All those types of things are things that you need to have organized, and you need to have conversations about it. You know, like what are your significant other, your husband, your wife, you know, have you had a conversation with them about, like, if you were to pass or if they were to pass, like, what do they want to have happen? You know, do they want a funeral? Do they want to be cremated or buried, or all these things that you are uncomfortable and not fun conversations to have are just real life things. Like, there's one day we're all not going to be here. Like, at some point we're all going to pass on. And so what it's gotten me really thinking about is how to minimize the burden or the stress on my wife, on my children, and just making sure that at the very minimum, life is going to continue. Life is going to go on for them to really reduce the stress so that they can go through whatever grieving process they have to go through. And it's really just gotten me thinking about my mortality and how I'm living. And if I'm living all out, what kind of legacy am I leaving behind? And, for me, this podcast is an extension of my legacy because I'm hoping that my girls one day will be able to go back and listen to some of these podcast episodes and just kind of get to know me on a deeper, more intimate level, because this is me kind of sharing with you a lot about my life and my business and challenges and lessons learned. And it got me even thinking one of my friends and one of my coaching clients, Brandon Barnes, he was sharing with me at dinner when he was in Miami, how he's going to be starting a podcast with his daughter. And I was like, wow, that is so cool. And it's kind of a legacy piece. And it got me thinking about what I can do with my daughter, something that's different and unique, something that's special, something that I can also use to teach her. So when we talk about legacy, it's not just all the stuff I was sharing with you at the beginning of the podcast episode, but it's what are you leaving behind? How are people remembering you? What impact did you have on their life? Are people better off or worse off because they knew you? And it's just really gotten me thinking deeper, longer, harder about the impact that I want to have on people's lives. And again, this podcast is a platform for me to hopefully have an impact on your life. So really what I want you to, the purpose of this episode, it's pretty short and sweet. I just want you thinking about when you're gone, how are people remembering you? And have you been responsible in making it as easy as possible for them, right? So do you have life insurance? If you don't have life insurance, I implore you to go figure that out. Go get a healthy life insurance policy, because I want to know when I'm gone, my wife and my children are going to be taken care of. What's your purpose? What's your why? Why are you doing what it is that you're doing today? And what are you leaving behind for your family, for your children, for your children's children? Do you have a basic will in place? Or do you have a trust in place? Do you have self-directed accounts? Do you have a Roth IRA, solo 401k, all these things? And, do you have beneficiaries in place? And if you do the beneficiaries know? Like, what's the company? Who do they have to contact? All these different types of things, you have to think about. Now's the time to do it. While it may be uncomfortable to have these types of conversations with your loved ones, it's important because we just never know. We just never know. And we had a long conversation about this at our Ascend Mastermind retreat. And it's gotten a lot of us thinking about our legacies and about our loved ones, and what kind of position are we leaving them in. So really what I want to do is, this episode is an extension of episode 560, which is really a tribute to Adrian Nez and just a celebration of his life. If you're not aware, a mutual friend of ours, Trevor Mock, set up a GoFundMe page. If you guys go to flipempire.com/Adrian, you can actually contribute if you feel compelled to, if you're led to do that. But I also really want to encourage you to read the heartfelt, beautiful post that Trevor shared on that GoFundMe page. And it's just been really amazing to see our entire community come together to support his wife, Amanda. He leaves behind just two beautiful boys, a beautiful girl. And he was just an incredible father, very, very active in their life. If you just go to Adrian's Facebook page, I think one of his last posts was parenting advice and just kind of sharing some of the things that he's picked up along the way. And so really this episode, just want to continue to celebrate him. And one of the ways I think you can celebrate Adrian and the life he left behind, his legacy, is really making sure that your house is in order, thinking through all the types of things that I've mentioned to you today. So if you have any questions, I'd love to help and contribute however I can. We're gonna continue to deliver. I'm gonna put the best people I can in front of you that can help you in your life and business. We're going to talk tactics. We're going to talk strategies. We're going to talk more about, retirement accounts and wealth building. One of the episodes that I will be recording soon is we were at our retreat. We talked about people are in different phases in their life. When it comes to building wealth, there's people that are making money, right? You're in the process of generating and making money. Second step is keeping the money, right? It's not only how much you make, but it's just as important, if not more important, how much you keep, right? And then lastly, how do you grow it? How do you become a good steward of your money? So that's what I got for you on today's episode. I really hope it gets the wheels turning and it gets you thinking about your mortality, your legacy, how people are going to think about you, how you made people feel. But then have you set things up for your family, for your loved ones, those that are important to you, so that when you pass, they're in the best position possible. So that's what I got for you, my friends. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I've had quite a few of you reach out to me about Ascend. AscendYourSuccess.com is where you can find out more about that. Make sure we're connected on social. And also really looking forward to connecting with you on the next episode as always. Have an amazing day. Go make it happen. Live life to the fullest. And we'll connect in the next one. Take care.